Welcome to Switched On Schoolhouse Consumer Math. In this one-credit high school math elective, your students will study units that cover math concepts such as personal finance, taxes and insurance, banking and credit costs, leisure, travel and retirement, and much more. Now let's take a look at a consumer math lesson to see how topics like these are covered. In a unit entitled Banking Services and Investments, let's look at a lesson called Checking Accounts. Most lessons begin with a brief introduction and a list of goals or objectives for the lesson. These objectives help students stay focused on important lesson content and provide parents with an effective way to measure mastery of lesson content. At the beginning of most lessons, students will also encounter a list of vocabulary words that will be used throughout the lesson. We've included review and reinforcement activities to encourage mastery of these important words. For example, students can hear the correct pronunciation of each word.
Bank account, checking account.
A Vocabulary Games arcade provides additional practice designed to help students to learn the spelling and definitions for the vocabulary from the lesson. Let's take a look at one of the games. Flashcards provides a fun way for students to review the definitions for the vocabulary words. Here's a sample. After this introductory material, your student moves independently through the lesson, reading the text-based instruction and utilizing the multimedia features that have been provided. A variety of audio-visual presentations, including videos, slideshows, and animations, provide reinforcement of lesson content. Here's an example of a video that helps students understand how to write a check.
Writing a check is a simple procedure, but if you don't do it correctly, you might have trouble with the check's recipient or even with the bank. Remember, you have to write the amount in two places. The first is written in actual numbers, but the second area is where you spell out the amount. This helps verify the amount of the check. You write the name of the check's recipient here, and you sign the check at the bottom. Don't print your name, use your signature. Don't forget the memo area. It'll help you remember why you wrote the check. When the bank sends you your statement and canceled checks, you'll know whether you wrote that check for gas or groceries or clothing.
Math can be a difficult subject to teach, but Alpha Omega's computer-based math courses provide text-based instruction interspersed with multimedia examples of difficult-to-grasp skills to assist parents in meeting the academic needs of even their most math-challenged students.
The date is written here. The name of the person or business to whom funds will be paid is written here. The amount of the check in numbers goes here. The amount of the check in words is written here. Your signature is written here. Put memos or notes here for budgeting or tax purposes. Your check number to help track it and account for it. These numbers identify the bank, the account, and the check number.
At the end of the lesson, your student is presented with a series of questions that provide a review of lesson content. If the lesson contains multiple sections, after completing section 1, the student continues to the next section, reading the text-based instruction and answering the remaining questions. Questions are presented in a variety of formats. Answers are automatically saved as the student works through the questions, with 85 to 90% of student work being graded immediately by the program. A student is given the opportunity to reattempt questions that were answered incorrectly the first time through the lesson. The lesson is complete when the student has answered all questions correctly or has exhausted his allowed attempts.